Most people know me as the girl from Look Into My Life, creating popular DIY, self-care routines, and lifestyle videos that reached millions. I've had the opportunity to travel the world modeling. I've walked runways and learned from the best in the industry. And it all came back to one simple truth. The most important relationship we have is the one we have with ourselves. So here I am, sharing those little trade secrets that I've learned along the way. This show is not about becoming more beautiful. It's about learning to love and take care of the skin that we're already in. I'll be inviting the most interesting names and faces in Alberta. And yes, of course, you're invited. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Love Always Skin.
It's the kind of lips that feel so easy.
The show where self-care meets soul care. I'm your host, Angela Guta, and today I'm super excited because I am joined with somebody that I have been meeting and dying to talk to. We had an amazing conversation the other day, so I am honored to be introducing you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you, welcome.
Yeah, so joining me today is someone who wears many crowns. She's a best-selling author, a powerhouse life and relationship coach, a mama, a podcast host, and a woman who knows the true meaning of putting yourself back at the center of your life. Please help me in welcoming the fabulous Hellen Juma.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Of course, I'm so happy to have you. Yeah.
Thank you. It's an honor, really, truly. And any platform I can get to share about how to encourage people, make their lives better, it's always my pleasure.
Yeah, I love that so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so as I said earlier, we did have a conversation. So before we dive in, I just want us to tell us kind of your life's journey and how you kind of got to where you are today.
Awesome. We don't have all day, so I'll try to make it as concise as possible. I'm a trained teacher, and I have been a teacher before I came to Canada, I was a teacher for 15 years. And moving here, I could not connect directly to being in teaching. And so I looked for things that would help me create impact and help people more in their lives. And the first thing came was parenting, creating relationships in the family. And I was a buzz about it, started writing blogs and talking to parents in church, school, and social settings. And someone just told me one day, you should be writing a blog about this. Then I started. Halfway through, I realized that parents have a big role to play in children's homes, in their lives, but also parents struggle with relationships.
Absolutely.
And it trickles down to the children. So instead of just talking about parenting, I started sharing about marriage because I'm also passionate. I believe in relationships that are meaningful and last long. I don't believe in try and error because I know when you start making try and error and you have children, they get the impact. They get the trauma of all these fights and divorces and separations. So I started talking about marriage for about 3 or 4 years. Then one morning my husband told me, well, you've done about 30 blogs about marriage. Why don't you combine them into a book?
Oh.
And so the birth of the book Takes Two to Tangle. It's a bestseller in Amazon. And I wrote about it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mostly about how my husband and I navigate relationships, finances, sex life, fighting, it's always there, dating, date nights, the extended family. As you know, being an African, you can't do without them. Actually, they call you our wife. So you have to learn to put that together.
Yeah,
so after writing that book, and I enrolled in relationships coaching courses. And I also, I went ahead to do relationships and marriage coaching. Loved it to bits. Amazing. I enjoyed it. So after talking to people about relationships, I discovered, it's not just about marriage. It's now about individuals. Then I went back to school, started learning about life coaching. And then that's how I got to life coaching. Yeah. And as I was talking about it, I learned about all people, that includes me, that carry stresses and struggles in life. We are very good at not taking responsibility and being the center of what's happening in our lives. So you find I'll blame my mother, my father, my husband, my uncle, the society, the culture. It is never about me. But I realized the more you take responsibility for your life, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the better it is for you to command your path forward. So I wrote a book called Popstar again. Me and writing books. So, but that's
very
how it came
powerful.
to be, the book Popstar, that talks about being the center of your stage in life. Don't bring people in your life. Make them the center while you're on the outskirts. They run your life for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's me and life coaching.
That's amazing.
No regrets.
Yeah, that's
you.
so amazing. And I love the part that you said about, sometimes people have a goal of marriage and then they're hoping that that's going to cover up all of the sort of gunk and traumas and everything from the past. And the reality is it doesn't, right?
It does not.
And actually, I think it actually amplifies it even more because when you're in those close, intimate relationships and somebody can really see you, that like just pokes right at those.
It magnifies it, actually,
Exactly. That's very true.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm actually very curious about what inspired like this sort of desire to help people. Because I think you mentioned that at the beginning of, okay, I'm a teacher, but I'm not going to, or
being teaching throughout.
Exactly. So, what kind of triggered that urge inside of you to be like, I want to help people?
That has been a journey in my whole life. Because there's no curriculum called life skills anymore, where you're taught how to navigate stresses of budgeting, taxing, relationship breakups, or parents splitting up, or not getting a job in time when you intended. Those things don't come in life. So I have always felt like nobody is out there to help children as they grow up at whatever age, between 0 and 30. Nobody's telling them the reality of life. And when they get into the life after they've graduated, they always get shocked and disappointed because everything they've learned is nothing.
It's nothing like the real
world.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons I felt I could fill that gap in my own small way. So I'll give an example. Women in Africa, we are told, you're there to be seen and not heard. And women carry a lot of stresses. They carry a lot of life stresses. And when they come to the Western world, like I did, and I know your mother also did, we come to a place where now there's no mother-in-law, no uncles, nobody to come and guide you. Where do you get the guidance? And life here is different from Africa. In Africa, it takes a village to raise a child. Right now here in the Western world, it takes whoever is available, whether it's the mother, the father, the population, the community, whichever is available. So to be able to fill that gap, mothers need to know, to learn, to inquire, to research, to communicate with other immigrant women and those who are already here to learn. And I have reached out to many of them, and it's helping me a lot also to understand myself as a person. That being away from Africa doesn't make me less of an African woman. It doesn't mean I drop my culture. It doesn't mean I drop my values. If anything, I would be sharing them. And life coaching is the best path.
Yeah, like you're sharing it in a different way now.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
So I think that story is so inspiring. And
Thank you.
I just love your heart for service. And I remember, literally the first impression I had of you is you have such a warm energy.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you. Now I'm blushing.
Yeah, I think you asked me on Zoom, you were like, how are you feeling? Like, how are you really feeling? And I was like, nobody's asked me that.
Thank you.
It's
important to check in with people. Life is hard. It's heavy. There's a lot of trash. I'll call it trash because it's always brought to you that people carry. And it's good to check in with any person you meet in before you go to business of the day.
I know that you teach people to put themselves at the center of their life, and that's a core concept in your books that you've written.
Yeah.
So I just think that that's like the most powerful message, right?
Thank you.
So can you talk a little bit about how that shows up in your coaching and kind of share a story of how you've helped clients rebuild their life from the inside out?
Thank you. Life has taught us that it's never about you. It's not, you're not the sun, you're not the star, you're not the everything of your life. There's more to life than you. And especially in Africa, they'll tell you every time and then. You think you're the only one? You think life sort of goes around, the sun goes around you? You think, and you get all these emotions.
It's a guilt.
It's a guilt trip that you shouldn't focus on yourself at all. But what that teaches us as human beings is, yes, you're there for service, and you never matter. You never matter. And not mattering creates a whole gap. I know we know God is in everything and in everything, whatever you call God, universe, energy, it's in everything. But look at how everything is created with a center. The sun is the center of the universe. The community has its leadership and there's always one at the center. In everyone's life, what's at the center? You are the center. You run everything around you. And once you are centered and grounded in yourself, everything else falls in place. And being at the center of your life means taking the good, the bad, the ugly, the hard work, the passions, the successes, and the failures, bringing them to you, owning them, grounding yourself and accepting them, but knowing also they don't define who you are.
I love that.
So
Yeah.
thank you. So I'll give you an example. I've had many clients, but there's one that came to my mind. I'll not mention her name because I have not asked for permission to. But this client had a lot going on, from drug addiction to almost being homeless, having children being taken away from her, 3 failed marriages.
Oh, wow.
And,
There's a lot going on there.
and weight issues. So this client had a lot going on. And at the time I met this client, it was on a totally different trajectory. We were doing something totally different. And she heard the rumor that I was a life coach. And she was like, can you please coach me? And I said, oh, well, why would you want me to coach you? Because I never say yes. She broke down and told me everything, and it was a very emotional moment. And I told her, it's going to take a lot of effort, a lot of hard work, a lot of infighting in yourself. But if you put in the work, it will be as easy as ABC. It has been proven over and over again that this works. So we embarked on a journey. The first thing that we did together was vision board. I asked her, what do you want? Don't tell me. Write it down. I don't need to know it in details. And top of her list was she wanted to be married. She has always believed in a marriage. She has always believed in her children having a home. She has believed in having a successful relationship with her family, her children, and her spouse. At that time, she was dating. And I told her, you know what? You limit yourself. And you can also unlimit yourself. She said, I don't know why I want to be married. I've had 3 failed marriages. I can't see why I need it now, but my heart wants it. And I asked her, why is it important to you? And she said, it's because I saw my mother have failed marriages, and I saw one day I'll prove to her that it works. The mother is still alive, so she went ahead and wrote it on her vision board. I said, put it on your vision board, on the level of importance of each. We worked together for 2 years. The most beautiful thing is that I attended her wedding.
Oh.
And it was beautiful. It was very, very beautiful. She's doing well, and although I keep track on her and all that, it has not been a smooth ride, I'll say that. But I'll say she is very well on her way to achieving all her goals that she put on her vision board. And now she knows how to love herself for who she is. There's an app I also introduced her to that helps you record your own self-affirmations. And you listen to your own voice because your brain knows your voice. She listens to her own affirmations every morning, her own voice, and she says that's the best thing in the morning.
Yeah.
So you hear yourself telling yourself, I am beautiful, I am worthy, I am strong, I am confident, I can do what I want, I am focused, and all those, you can do it up for as long as you want. But it's sort of a mother in you telling you what you really need to hear. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's interesting how affirmations actually, like, I don't know, it's this weird energy thing where your reality kind of starts reflecting everything you're telling yourself, and you start seeing more of that.
Yeah.
So I just think that's such an amazing, powerful story. And I incorporate affirmations into my
Beautiful.
day-to-day routine as well.
Well, that's why it's said to be careful what you say, even to yourself. even to yourself. Your mind can hear, and so does your heart. They can hear you.
Yeah, and it kind of starts being a self-fulfilling prophecy.
It
and you look
is.
for evidence for why you're not worthy or whatever. So it's about telling yourself, like, I am enough. I am worthy.
Yes.
I'm powerful. I can do this.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think for me, the best way I can kind of rationalize it is, like, there's this theory in psychology that emotions are contagious, like
Yes.
emotional contagion. So we can kind of feel each other and pick up on each other. So if I'm feeling amazing about myself, then the other person will kind of pick up on it. And vice versa, if you're kind of down, or if somebody's just in a low place, which nothing wrong with being there.
It's
You're there.
normal.
Yeah, it's normal. It's life. But we can also pick up on that too.
Yes.
So it's very interesting.
We are energy beings, and we
Yeah.
spread what we have, whether it's good or bad. But I have seen it work. I have passed so many. We don't have time for this in this story, but I'll also give you my life story. There's a lot of impossibles that I surpassed. So many. People said, you can't do this. It's not possible from where you come from your community, from blah, blah, blah. And I was like, watch me.
Watch me. I love
Watch
that.
me. I'm a positive dynamo. I'm going to do it.
So I always I have this theory that if somebody's life is upside down, then so are their relationships. Like, it's directly linked. And I don't know if one causes the other or the other causes, but they just all bleed into one another. And it's just a theory I have. So I just want you to talk about that sort of life and relationship connection and what you've seen from your experience being a relationship and life coach.
Okay. Now, that it always starts from the one person. It always starts from me. If things around me don't work well, and I keep finding myself having back-to-back failed relationships, I am the problem.
Of course, yeah.
So here's the thing, and this is what most people don't do, and I tell people in their life coaching. When was the last time you did a life audit of yourself? When did you sit down and say, okay, I've moved from relationship A to B to C. What's not working? Why am I not getting headway? Now, first thing is to not focus on those people who are in your life. Start with yourself. Yeah. What did I want in this relationship? What did I put in the relationship? How did I show up for the relationships? What went right in that relationship? And celebrate that. Always celebrate the good. And what lessons did I learn? And if you have two failed relationships and you feel like it's not working, I encourage you to take a coach, maybe a relationships coach, a life coach, or someone who will help you do a 360 evaluation of yourself.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because sometimes you don't see. We have this what called the Johari window, where there are 4 windows, and there's one where you don't know, you can't see, you can't sense what's wrong with you, but people outside can see. And you need someone to come and tell you, hey, your window 3 is wrong. That's why people can't stay with you. Yeah. So you need a coach to let you know how to work with what you can't see and you don't know that it's wrong.
Absolutely.
So,
and I totally agree with all of that, because I think it takes a humility to be like,
it does.
I think I had it totally wrong. I had this wrong. But that doesn't mean anything about your worth.
No.
You're still worthy and everything, because sometimes people are afraid to admit faults or whatever because they think, it's going to, diminish my worth as a person. But it's like, no, I can admit that I was wrong and I totally messed up and I had it incorrect and I'm still worthy and I'm still enough. Those two things can exist.
Contrarily.
Yeah.
Those who have the guts to accept that I'm wrong, I did it, those are the brave ones.
Exactly.
They're not the weak ones. They're the brave ones.
The brave ones. Yeah.
Yes, because the weak ones will try to cover their heads like an ostrich and say, "Oh well, this storm shall pass and I'll be fine. The fire shall pass." No. It's the strong ones who really go to face the mirror of themselves and their weakness and see what is not right, what is not going on, and that is actually a virtue. It's a very strong virtue where you're able to look in and say, "Oh, I've been the reason why things have not been working. I need to check me out." And I'll tell you as an experience, like a mother, I've had to go through that several times. It's pretty humbling. And especially when your 360 evaluators are your family, your kids, your husband, Oh my gosh. The things, we do that sometimes with my kids and my husband, and I ask them, what have I done right? What have I been doing wrong? What could I do different? Yeah,
Wow.
it's a moment you want to take this shoe and let it fly. Hit someone so hard on the head and be like, you forget who you are, you're my kid. But it helps me also learn how to be a better mother.
Even just thinking about that, like as we're talking,
Yeah.
it reminded me of just how personality disorders form, where, well, a lot of them form like in early childhood, but
Yeah.
most of the times, a lot of these defense mechanisms that come up are a result of extreme low self-esteem, like with narcissism. It's low self-esteem, self-hatred, actually.
Oh, wow.
But because you are, like, so afraid that people are going to see you, you project this, like, perfectness and this whatever of, like, oh, so if anyone pokes at that,
Oh, wow.
instead they flip it to gaslighting. No, that didn't happen. I would never do that. I'm not like this. And so people like that are, like, unable to see themselves.
They
So
cannot.
it doesn't make you a bad person to, like, be like, I screwed up. I wasn't.
It makes you a better person.
Yeah, it makes you a better person. Yeah.
But when you own, and that's my second word in the book, Popstar, when you own your own weaknesses and your strengths and your responsibilities, you take control. There is nothing as beautiful as telling someone, I'm sorry. Can you please find it in you to forgive me?
Yeah.
That's the end.
Now for the fun stuff. Let's talk a little bit about self-care. Like, what does your self-care routine look like lately? Like, how do you pour into Helen's
Self-care.
cup?
It's a big, long story. The first one I talk about is that you have to fill your cup to fill others. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others. So I have learned, and this is something I work on every day, filling my cup first.
That's
She's also good. She loves beauty stuff, so she has been headstrong on giving me masks, like turmeric honey mask. I don't know,
Yes,
coconut honey mask. I
Yes.
don't know, cornstarch mask for tightening the face. Gosh, that thing is dry. It makes you feel
Oh,
like
really?
it pulls you up.
Oh, that's like the clay. We tried a clay mask, and I
Yeah.
put it on my mom too.
Yeah.
And she was like
It just
tightened,
tightens
yeah.
up. It's very, after that you feel like a baby. She also makes, what's the other one that she does? Aloe vera sometimes, especially when you're having irritated skin, maybe heat rash. She does the aloe vera touch. She bought the brother too. She's just our own beautician in the
Oh,
house.
that's so sweet.
And other than that, when I came with one also from Kenya, we have face steaming. I know here sometimes they don't do that in the beauty places, but we have that. You take a blanket. My mom used to put an egg yolk, not egg yolk, egg white. Like she takes the egg white and mix it with aloe vera and then make a good blend. Put it on your face, let it dry a little bit so it bonds with your face, and then you steam it. So why she steams it is that when she's steaming it, the aloe vera essentials and all the eggs, the proteins, the beautiful collagens, they all get infused inside. And the face looks tight, glowing, because the egg gives you that glass look, and the avocado just makes the skin supple. She also, every birthday time, she'll buy me this packet of, that's my daughter, she'll buy me this packet of Korean face masks.
Korean skin.
I don't
is
know
the
what the
best.
magic they discovered, but it works.
Exactly. I had a Korean facial like a month ago. I
Yeah?
was like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a win. I don't think there's any other place where you'll get anything better than that.
Yeah,
I believe
Korean
they top the
skin.
charts. So she does the Korean mask. She got me one, and I was like, who's going to put a snail face mask on me? And I was like, it's not going to happen. She said, no, it's good. It's actually made from the snail something. I can't remember the name. Like
the slime?
The slime.
That they-
I'll tell you what.
Really?
That, I hated it, I'll tell you for sure, because the word snail is enough for me to say no. But boy, what it does to your face, I was getting, what do we call them? Like with age, you get these patches of darker skin on your face.
Hyperpigmentation?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It got rid of them. I had a scar here. Forget this one that I found recently. I had a scar here I got burnt when I was cooking. And my daughter was like, you try the scale face mask. And I'm like, no. The word snail, I'm done. It's Korean too.
I am
Go find it and buy her some.
Yeah, I am going to find it.
It is so good. It gets the
Wow.
hyperpigmentation off. Like, I was like, what? There's so much in nature that we overlook.
Oh yes, nature has all
Everything.
of the healing, like everything we
Everything.
need.
Everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that's my self-care routine.
I love it. I love it. It's very much like practicing what you preach.
Yes,
Making
walk
yourself
the talk.
center. Yes, that's so much fun. And I'm going to be Googling that snail mask.
Go on, look it up.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
amazing.
I love all things skincare, so I definitely
Awesome,
am going
you're welcome.
to look for some more Korean skin. All right, well, I think we've covered so much ground in this conversation.
Yeah.
So I just want to say thank you so much.
Thank you. The honor was mine.
For
The
coming
pleasure
on
was mine.
here. It was just such a treat, and I loved this episode. Yeah, it was just so amazing, and I'd love
Thank
to
you.
have you back on.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
All right, until next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.